When someone does something wrong or does wrong comments on social media about your business, what can we do? Please tell me. It's a good question, because it's. I know as a business, it takes so much to create your reputation, to create your brand, to create your obviously sort of portfolio, and all it takes is one bad comment online to erase it. So yes, it's a real problem, and this is perhaps with that in mind that UAE has a fairly robust and a fairly strict what's called a cybercrimes law, and that is, among other things, this law penalizes any kind of online commentary, for example, or online sharing of information that may potentially insult you or offend, defame, or breach privacy, breach confidentiality, or damage a business or a person through the online means. So in your case, what you would be relying on is particularly the cyber law. Now, in terms of what it is, so the law is there, so legal framework is there, but ultimately it depends on what it is that the comments you say. So if the comment just basically is a more kind of a generic or more subjectively sort of questionable in terms of whether it's actually damaging and insulting to you, then the authorities will look at that as well. So the comment itself should have some kind of almost like on its face defamatory or insulting sort of tone or nature in order for the authorities to act on it. So if you have something like that, so in other words, the nature of the comment is damaging to your business, and it's sort of so more or less objectively damaging, then that you can report that. In terms of how you do it, it depends on in which sort of format it was received and who authored it. So let's say if you don't know who authored it, because that could be, so the best way to do it, and perhaps the only way to do it, is what's called the e-crime complaint. So you file an e-crime complaint, and usually the e-crime complaint is filed when you don't know the perpetrator, the identity of the perpetrator. If you actually know who the perpetrator is, then you can go to the police, and you can complain to the police about that specific individual. And obviously the reason the path is different, because if you know who the perpetrator is, you can go with specific evidence to the authorities and give them the identity of the person who ultimately harmed you. But if you don't know the identity, then you have to do it through the e-crime complaint, so that authorities can then ultimately examine from their back end, through their digital channels, to identify the perpetrator on the other side.